Wow, what amazing music. How's that for an intro? Welcome everybody to a special nighttime edition of the Latino Slant. My name is Paulie, and how are you all doing? I am super excited. I've been waiting for this one like all week long. Seriously, that I had to take a shower, shave, and put on my finest hat for tonight. What's happening, everybody? Well, as of today, and today being March 7th, Dune 2, its theatrical performance domestically is now over $104 million, international 99. Put it all together, $204 million. 204 on what could be seen as a very adult different type of sci-fi film, one of scope and just and a an amazing riot of just over sensory visuals, which I absolutely loved. I am so curious as to the longevity of this film, the cultural zeitgeist, and did it connect with the kids? With the kids, because at the end of the day, that's why they pushed um, this movie back a few times. Now, before we bring on our special guest, our one and only special guest, we're going to. I got a little bit of a theory that I've been working on since last summer when we heard that they were going to push it back, and I saw the writing on the wall, and it looks like it's paid off in the numbers. And then we're going to say hello to you guys, and then bring on Nerd Cookies. So when we got the news that Dune 2 is being moved from that first week of November to the second week of March, I was like, huh, well, it makes sense. They don't have their young stars. Their young stars are everything for to crack that young adult audience, which really they didn't really sell it to with Dune 1. It was really made for more, Dune fans, Denis Villeneuve fans, and Chalamet and Zendaya weren't where they were, and we were still coming out of all the lockdowns. So then the numbers came out this week, and with Dune 1, the young adults was almost 34%. Now it's 50%. It's about 50%. And the whoever the marketing geniuses were at was it Legendary or Warner, hats off to you because you all did your job, and now you've got every young Chalamet and Zendaya. I say Zendaya, you say Zendaya, Zendaya fan going talking about this film. It really is all over the culture zeitgeist of that young audience, and that's fantastic. I think it is at the end of the day a huge win for Dune the books, Dune the lore, because I really feel that young audience does like to go and read, does like to go do the research and find out what's going on. So yeah, that's my little Dune news for tonight here on the Latino Slant. Okay, before we bring in our very special guest, let's do a quick hello to all the beautiful people that are getting in here. All right. Alan's here. Darth Plato. Retro. Hello, Retro. What's up, Retro? Solomon. I got to see Dune 2 this weekend. Yay! I love it. I love it. Goober. Penny. Got a lot of members of the Latino slant that are here. Members of the Latino slant, like Darth Plato, like Penny. Hello, Nadia. Do me a favor, members of the Latino slant, let's greet everyone with your slantino emoji. And we can also say hello to Elaine from Nerd Cookies. I'm going to bring in Fletcher really quick. Fletcher, I got to tell you, this is Nerd Cookies is one of my favorite channels, not just because of Dune, not just because of Battlestar Galactica, Lord of the Rings, but it's how she presents the material. I can't get enough of Nerd Cookies. How about you, brother?
I agree. I think she has like that soothing voice. It's funny because I have a cousin that has that kind of voice, and it's almost like you just
Uh-huh.
want to like have her like read stories to you. Like when I was young, you give them a book and you're like, read
Mm,
this to me, please. Because she just has that great voice, and it's like I can read it for.
mm.
It's like, why don't you read it for yourself? And it's like, oh no,
Nice.
because you say it's so nice.
You
You
say it
know,
so nice.
you say it's so nice. It's so nice when you say it.
Well,
It's
we're
not
gonna
that
bring
I'm
her in right
lazy.
now. Anything that you have to say in regards to the chat, what's going on in the chat, and all that good stuff, Fletcher.
Oh yeah, no, we want to welcome everybody on the chat. We're already getting super stickers. Thank you so much. I
Nice.
really appreciate everybody for stopping by. I know this is impromptu kind of planned more of a late show, but we do
Hmm.
thank everybody for stopping
Well,
in and
yeah. Well, we used to be just evenings only. It's been a
yeah,
while. It's been a
right,
long
yeah,
time.
long
But
time.
we're glad for the early comers and some beautiful people in the chat. Penny, Retro Nerd Girl, Nadia, and people just saying hello, and of course all our members. So thanks a lot, Fletcher. Let's keep you on here because I want you to say hello to Elaine as well. Well, we've talked about her, and we're going to keep talking about her incredible channel. She's high in demand this past couple of weeks. I wonder why.
Mm.
Ladies and gentlemen, Elaine Nerd Cookies.
Hi. Thank you for having
Brrr,
me.
Yeah.
brrr, bah.
You guys are awesome. You're so sweet.
Well, Elaine, you're now a Latin. You're now a Slantina. I think you've been on this chat.
Yeah.
You've been on this. You've been on a couple times the last couple of years. God, last
Yeah,
couple of
it's good to
years.
be back.
That's crazy, Elaine. That's crazy. But Fletcher, I wanted you to say hello before we get on out of here.
Hey, hi, Elaine. It's a pleasure to meet you. Meet you on the
Yeah,
Um,
flip
Fletcher,
book.
thank you.
All right, see you in the
So
back.
we'll see in a bit. Elaine, like I was telling you, I was telling Fletcher, um, big, huge fan of your channel. I just can't get enough. Before we get into all the craziness that is Dune 2, right? What what prompted you to do your channel? Because you must have such a love for these all these things, like you said, all things nerdy, whatever. But what started it off for you?
Uh, well, it was just just passion for just all these science fiction and fantasy mythologies. And at first it was kind of born out of just wanting to defend them
Mm,
from um the bastardization or the
mm,
you know mis uh just the ruination of some of our most beloved stories and characters. And so it kind of started out in a place of just wanting to talk about that. And but it kind of morphed then into just being a very positive outlet for sci-fi and fantasy stories and what we love about them and what I love, and just to be able to share that, share the lore, share the stories that have had such an impact on our imaginations throughout the years. So yeah,
I,
so
I I don't know which lore IP, whatever, let's just call them our lore. IP sounds so clinical and corporate. Which one's your favorite?
oh man, that's really tough.
I know it
I
is.
have a special place in my heart for Stargate. Um and
Really?
Yes, yeah. I
Wow.
remember seeing that in theaters when I was a kid, and that
Okay.
just I
Okay.
don't know, that just really fascinated me, and it was unlike anything I'd ever seen before. Yeah, that holds a special place in my heart, and I love doing lore videos on that. And oh man, my favorite though. It's
Really
really
fast
hard.
on Stargate, or were you are you also a fan of the TV series?
Oh yes, yes.
Okay.
I watched all of those shows as they were premiering live. I was just fascinated each week. And I yeah, loved all the shows, and kept up with that throughout the year. So yeah, Stargate is boss.
So what were you gonna? I cut you off, but what were you gonna say, Elaine? It's a guilty pleasure or
I don't
your
know. That's
favorite?
really hard to see what my favorite is. I don't know. There's so many that I love. Battlestar Galactica is up there too. It's
Those are good ones.
and Dune has, of course, has a special place in my heart, and Star Wars as well. Like Lord
All
of
of
the
the
Rings.
above. Are,
Yeah, it's hard. Which one of your babies do you love the most? I don't know.
it's definitely strange, right? I think as I get older, Dune is getting closer to my heart, like on different levels. For a while it was Lord of the Rings. When I was younger, it's definitely Star Wars. Um, but yeah, are you also into doing the House of the Dragon?
I'm not okay. Now that is where I'm not the biggest George R. Martin fan. So I'm
Ooh,
not.
you heard it here first.
I know, sacrilege, but yeah, so that's one of the things I've just never got into myself. I'm also just getting into The Expanse, and I'm really
Mm,
excited
mhm,
for
mhm.
that. I tried watching the show several times. That first season's a bit rough to get through. I'm still trying to work through that, but the book is amazing. Yeah.
Right. Well, before we get into, I have I think it's 5 or 6 point Dune plan tonight.
Nice.
Before we get into it, another monster. We have some cool comments. I love Stargate Universe.
Yes. Love it.
Retro. I adore the first Stargate movie. I do too. Solomon. I saw the reruns of Stargate as a kid. Another monster. Another monster. I made a video on my channel. And honestly, if you ever read the book, Dune Part 2 is a 9 out of 10. But if you've never read the book, 9 out of 10. If you read the book, 6 out of 10, maybe 7.
Yep. It's accurate.
Alan, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Exact. Is that where you're at?
That's accurate. I'd
It's
say.
pretty accurate. It's pretty
Babylon 5 for the win, yeah.
for the win. Shinatsky, don't bother with Song of Ice and Fire. The books will never be done.
Oh yeah.
And KN Kareen for our first super chat of the night. Thank you so much. $4.99. It's a super sticker of hippos coming out, their heads coming out of the water and like with the big eyes. So thank you. Thank you so much. Let's play a little fun video, and then we'll start talking some Dune 2 stuff. Here you go. I mean, you have been really in demand this last couple of weeks. How's it been? I know you just literally got off a stream.
Yeah, it's been a crazy whirlwind for the last couple of weeks. But very exciting. And we've been waiting for this for the conclusion for Denis Villeneuve's adaptation of Dune for quite a while. And
Mm,
for both films, they've had their ups and downs and challenges getting made and released. And yeah, when it's kind of like a same thing was happening with Dune Part 2 with its delay and actor strikes and all those things. So
yeah,
that was a bit of a challenge for both of those films. But it
yeah,
finally is here.
yeah. I mean, I got those stats of the young audience, 50% for Dune 2. I mean, I think it's really caught on and with the kids, which I wouldn't think that.
Yeah, they have all those young, beautiful people
They
brought out
really
there.
do. And it would be nice if only if more than one of them could actually act, but well, you like that there? you like that there? Okay, so yeah, you've been on. I mean, you were on Friday Night Tights the other night. How was that? How did that feel? That must have been like a little nerve-wracking.
Yeah, I was a little nervous. It was a last kind of minute thing. So there was some that weren't able to come. So yeah, was extended an invitation, and that was pretty
Great.
neat.
No, you did a great
Yeah.
job.
So I'm kind of glad it was kind of last minute, so I wouldn't have had time to really dwell on it and get anxious about it. But we had a lot of fun
Good.
gushing about Dune and just getting into the nitty gritty of all the nerdy things we love about it. So and what we
Well,
didn't like too.
great transition. Let's go into like our first one, right? Let's call it Dune for Dummies, right? What is the Dune story? Just like, just give us your quick assessment of the Dune story that covers the two films. Is it one book? Is it a book and a half? Is it a half a book? Is it almost all the whole book? What is the Dune story for us super normies on Dune?
Well, so Denis Villeneuve's adaptation covers the first of Frank Herbert's novels, simply Dune. Yes, his first Dune novel. And I personally think he could have done it in a trilogy format. I feel like it's a very dense story, but very, very rich and fascinating and strange. And so
Hmm.
it's 20,000 years into our history. So this is an alternate telling of the future of humanity. So it's a really cool study, I guess, of how society has changed and what things haven't changed. But it all
Hmm.
centers around, I mean, the backdrop is that we are kind of in a post AI universe, and all intelligent machines, calculating computers, machines like that have been
Mm.
banned, and they've been banned for like 10,000 years at this point.
Wow.
So
Okay.
society has, kind of conditioned itself, moved past reliance on these thinking machines to uh, upgrade themselves, evolve themselves. And so we have these different factions like the Bene Gesserit, who have gained superhuman control over their bodies and are able to do superhuman abilities. Uh, and with that, the story of Dune is about Paul Atreides, basically, and this is the story that Frank Herbert was really dwelling on, was the story of this hero
Mm.
and what happens when this hero comes to power, and what happens with the consequences of that, of such an individual that draws such a immense following, and the
Hmm.
consequences that can yield from that. So Paul Atreides is the product of the Bene Gesserit's breeding program, generations, thousands of generations, to bring forth the Kwisatz Haderach,
Hmm.
someone who is basically a male Bene Gesserit, who is able to look into their own genetic memory, both male and female ancestral memories. He would also have the prescience of far exceeding a guild navigator who can see into the future. And he would also have the abilities of a mentat, those calculating analytical abilities. So basically, he's the sum of all of these different factions,
Yeah.
and who can, but far, far exceeding all of their abilities too, and can see through. Kwisatz Haderach means that he can be many places at once. He can see past, present, future. So it's this mind that they're trying to conceive, trying to bring forth, but ultimately, so they can control him,
Mm.
can control like the direction of humanity. So that strikes to the that's
Yeah,
the
and this time, and it's
story of it.
and in this case, in this story, it's Paul, but they have different candidates, but Paul was not, let's just say, approved by them. Is that correct? Because
Yes.
Jessica was not supposed to have a boy.
Yes, exactly. So he came a generation early, and
Mm.
Jessica was supposed to have a daughter, but because she loved her Duke, she decided to give him a son, an heir. So that threw everything like a wrench into the mix, and just basically begins this epic story for this
Mm.
one act of love and a throwing off of the Bene Gesserit's plans. So something they could not predict or control. So it's a fascinating tale to follow.
So it took him 2 films really to do the book, because just as far as how Dune 2 ends, uh, for better or for worse, it's the ending of book 1, correct? I mean, that's I mean,
Yes,
they
yes.
did cut a lot out, but
Yeah.
they cut a
Essentially,
lot out.
yeah.
Yeah, and,
They did pave the way for the next book, but kind of seeded,
there's
the
yeah, there's gonna be some
yeah.
problems with that, but, I mean, I just reread, the book for maybe, like, the 3rd time in the last 2 years. Um, yeah, I really have to disconnect myself from my love of just Herbert's language and Venus' vision, his cinematic vision, but we'll get back to that. Herbert, what did Herbert draw the story from? Was it World War II? Was it what's going on in the Middle East? Was it, because people got all their theories and stuff. So I just wanted to, before we go on, just wanted to, do you know
I'm
any facts behind that?
I mean, offhand, yeah, his basically lived experience. He through all of
Mhm.
his work and schooling and the Oregon dunes. Um, he drew on a lot of his own experience and knowledge of the world, and to create something that touched on philosophical,
Mm,
religious, ecological, political themes. And in his tale, he also took inspiration by Beowulf and tales of treasure hoarding dragons
love it.
and of empires. I'm sure that uh, Asimov was also probably a point of inspiration there. But um, yeah, he took inspiration from a lot of real world and other fantasy tales to craft his own original mythology.
Okay, guys, in the chat, please, if you got a question for nerd cookies, you super chat, or just say, Elaine, nerd cookies, da 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 da. Just so me and Fletcher can catch it. We're gonna keep going on to our next one. All right, I saw the movie twice. I saw it again just so I can get ready for this talk. I saw it again Sunday night. How many times have you seen it so far?
I've seen it twice. I wish I could have seen it one more time. I feel like there's details that are kind
Yeah.
of slipping away from me.
What are your overall thoughts upon your second viewing?
A second viewing, it was much more enjoyable for me.
Mhm.
First time, I really tried to set my book brain aside to just really
Mm,
enjoy it for the cinematic
I like
experience.
that.
Yeah,
I like that.
just lure aside and try to
Uh,
just enjoy for just as a purely movie.
uh-huh.
But that was really hard to do that. Um,
Especially that first
and
time.
yeah, there was a lot of cool things.
Okay.
Yeah, it just my book brain just kept I just kept struggling at times. The second time was much more enjoyable when I didn't have that weight of expectations
Mhm.
going in. So, or just my own expectations, but also from the novel standpoint, but also from what Villeneuve himself said that I could expect, that were differently handled.
Wow. Wow.
But yeah, I
Yeah.
was able to enjoy it more just when I knew what was going to happen, and it is a superb cinematic experience, and I keep saying that because that's actually what it's those times when you actually remember going to see this movie.
Mm.
And like I remember Stargate when I was young, and other like Jurassic Park and Star Wars and other things. You
Mhm.
remember going to see it your first time, and I feel like it's one of those moments in cinema history because you
Yeah.
can see all the passion in it
Mm.
from everybody who worked on it, which is unfortunately so rare these days that everyone put in 110%
Mm.
to give us a good story, a good experience at the movies that we could be immersed in. And I so Getty Prime is amazing. Arrakis
Mm.
continues to be amazing. They bring you to these worlds, and Greg Fraser is just his work is superb. And again, another Oscar-winning turn, I think, for him. And he did the Batman and the Creator
Mm.
as well. So he's his work on this is stunning.
Well,
But yeah,
I gotta tell you,
adaptation's a different story, but yeah.
yeah. Well, I gotta tell. Okay, so on my second viewing, Elaine, the things that I loved in the first viewing, I loved even more. Like I like got emotionally more connected to the scope, the look, and the feel, and the score as well. The actual music in it, the score, it really like took a hold of me. Um, to where I'm pretty forgiving of of how they butchered the book. But upon the second viewing, what I didn't like in the first time around, it was more present for me in the second viewing.
Yeah, I
So,
agree with that.
it was just
It's still there. The issues that I had were still there the second time.
yeah, yeah, and they were so glaring. Where we but listen, I'll probably see it again because it's so amazing to see on a big screen. And I think that's what people are just really hungry for, something just unique and different by an auteur. I think that's why Oppenheimer was big, Top Gun. You can even argue Barbie. Barbie had a huge audience. Whether you liked it or
Mhm.
not. The last couple of years, you're seeing Avatar, Super Mario. So that's how I felt about my second time viewing it, man. I had to put on that the score on Spotify for sure. Have you been
Mhm.
listening to it at all?
Yeah, yeah. It's I like the score, I think, better in Doom Part 2.
Mm-hmm.
There's a and I did like the romantic music
Yeah.
between Paul and Chani. I did like that score there. Thought that was
Well,
nice.
I like I liked that because they did different variations of that melody,
Mm.
not just with them two, but like
Yeah.
like kind of the storming the castle type of thing, like at the end where he's like, "We're doing the holy war. Come on, I'm Javier Bardem. I'm crazy." You know,
Yeah.
and yeah, I mean, we'll say like also as well, the acting from most of the cast was just simply just
Yeah.
incredible. Whether it was spot on with the book or just their own take, because Stilgar is very different. For from the first movie to the second movie, I still
Yeah.
loved it.
Yeah, I
I still
agree.
loved it. Yeah.
I mean, I love seeing him on the Sandworm though, and there he had a lot of great moments too. I think the only thing I didn't like was just that the younger Fremen were just making fun of him for his beliefs, and I felt like he is the leader. They should have been way more respectful towards that. So that's the
Yeah,
only
hold
thing I didn't
hold
like.
that
But
thought.
he was great.
Hold that thought because as far as what went wrong there, but I think we're overlapping. Where did the film get it right with the essence and the
Hmm.
spirit of the book, in your opinion? Where did they get it right? I think
Um,
it's Giddy Prime.
yeah, well, and I think they struck to the heart of Frank Herbert's theme was
Mhm.
building up this hero, starting off with this classic good versus evil tale
Mhm.
that we had the Atreides and Harkonnens feuding, and then you have Paul, who you want to root for. You want him to avenge his father and avenge the downfall of his house. So we
Mhm.
start there, and then it morphs into this we have this weight of destiny upon him and a
Mm.
future that he cannot avoid, and he comes to this position of power that will make decisions that will affect billions of people across the known universe, uh, and he's just like powerless to avoid it at that point. So he's just got he's just at the whim of destiny at this point and has to just choose the lesser, I guess, of all of uh, the least catastrophic route, which is not that great to begin with. But at the end, I mean, this is what the story is of just beware of charismatic leaders, and they're not always right. So that's what the heart of that theme was. And I feel like Paul's journey was the
Mm.
main focus, and I think they did that well in both films. So all of these other things that I may have issues with seem
Yeah.
to be streamlined in service of that
Hmm.
main storyline. Whether some of them were good or effective in that regard, I mean, that's another debate. But that's one thing I can see, that his the Harkonnens and that the antagonist and Paul rising to power at the end, I think was good.
I would have to agree with you. I think that Chalamet, I think he did a fantastic job, and especially with the two movies together. Um, eh, and yes, that this is Atreides Store Paul's story, absolutely. Um, and yeah, I really had no problems with that. It really caught. It's so deep, uh, this book, as far as when he becomes self-actualized, like that first time when they're in the book in the tent.
Mm.
I mean, that is such a profound chapter. I felt it here and there in the film. It's very, it's very tough to get. I think Denny did a great job with his worlds, with this universe. I thought that was wonderful. I think Fade, it was absolute nightmare. He was just, he, did- you know. I even like the lady Fennering, Fennering.
Mhm. Yeah, great casting for her as well.
Yeah, So yeah. Who else? Who else? Uh, yeah, I think. I mean, if we're looking over and then if we're looking at the two books, of course, I love and I missed Oscar Isaac. I think emotionally, he's probably emotionally I was the most connected to his performance out of the whole two films. But yeah, that's the story.
Yeah, he's one of my
um,
favorite characters. It's one of those tragic things.
okay,
The few noble people.
I know. Oh my God. All right, what did they get wrong with the lore? And is it damaged though? Can it has it damaged the overall story? W- You know, uh,
Mm,
Maybe going into that third film. Uh,
man.
I mean, if you're a
Uh,
book purist, is it like these two are just like crap? Let's be honest here.
there's a lot of things missing, and I feel like that contributes to it. But there are things that were altered that
Hmm.
will definitely have an impact moving forward if Dune 3 comes to fruition, that I am worried about.
Mm.
So Johnny is probably one of the biggest things.
Oof.
She was not my favorite. She's her and Christopher Walken, Zendaya and Christopher Walken, I think were miscast for this movie. Both of
What
their roles
what
were kind of
what are you talking about? This is Christopher Walken, everybody. I played the Emperor. I
I
had a
get
great time. I thought I did a good job, but
it's just Christopher Walken.
Nerdy Cookies doesn't like me.
It was Emperor Christopher Walken. That's what it was.
In his Middle Eastern robe. I'm like, what is this guy wearing?
I didn't like. I was not impressed with Kaitane, the Imperial planet, and
Ah,
apart
God.
from his ship, um, yeah, there's
The
nothing
ship
really
was great.
ostentatious about him. Yeah, and their clothing. Princess Irulan got, I think, a couple decent outfits, but
Hmm.
I think maybe the chainmail one was my favorite. But yeah, there's otherwise just very, again, minimalistic. That's kind of been
Mm.
Villeneuve's style. Um, but yeah, I could have gone for more, like something to show us that this is the emperor of the whole known universe.
Right. I think
Yeah.
I want to get back to Chani in a second, but the other thing with the Emperor was, I, I know he loved Duke Leto, and they said that in the second film. But when he, spoiler guys, sorry, when he meets Paul at the end and he talks down about his father, I'm like, well, they didn't do that in the book. don't think the Emperor ever did that. I just didn't like
Yeah.
that line. That
Yeah.
line bothered me. It really did.
He came across as very weak, and I think it was intentional because it kind of baffled me too. It kind of came out that the Reverend Mother was the one who orchestrated everything, that it was her
Mm,
idea for the Atreides to be um, for their downfall and the end of their bloodline. That didn't make any sense to me, and especially from going from the first film, just and purely from just the film standpoint,
hmm
she wanted the Baron to preserve Jessica and Paul's life. That was why she went there, or that was her bit of business in visiting him and saying, "Okay, the Emperor will strengthen your hand, but we Bene Gesserit, we have our own interests on Arrakis. Could you, spare the lives of Jessica and Paul? This is our own interest." And he said, "I wouldn't dream of it." And of course, he was lying,
mm.
but yeah. So it was very strange to then for her to say that, oh yeah, they were getting too out of our control, too
Too
uh
uppity.
yeah, to
Too no,
they
no, not
had to
uppity.
get
What
rid
was
of.
it? They're too what's the word? Not disciplined, but too.
Mm,
I,
which
there's
can't
a word
remember.
they used. There's a word they used.
An
Y-
outlier or something they couldn't control or something
Something they couldn't
to indicate
control.
that.
Just too unpredictable.
Yeah,
Too independent. I agree with you.
yeah. I
I
think it took
think
away the Emperor's power in that when they did that.
yeah. I just never felt the Emperor as I had a lot of problems with the ending with the Emperor, with her, with
Yeah.
the Baron, the way he went out, and then Raban going out way too quickly. Um, but let's go back to Chani because, and then the truncated 3 years into now was it not even 9 months? Um, the what they've set up with Chaney, sorry, Chani,
Either
uh,
or.
is that she total departure from the book, right? Because it's made very clear in the book that look, you're the love of my life. You're the lady. You're here with me the entire time. That woman that I'm doing a political alliance with, she will never feel my touch. And she was good with like that's like I got you. Let's go. Um, why did they change
Yeah.
that? And in and to make matters worse, I just didn't think just didn't like the performance of Cheney's. But why do you feel that they? What can you see? Why do you think they changed that? And you think that's probably going to be the biggest problem to resolve?
Yes, I think it's what yes, I if not the biggest problem, just because of how they've depicted her so
Hmm
far and how the story in the book is written. So I was already worried, and I didn't think some were worried that she was going to replace Paul as the main character, like in that sense, from the trailer footage or something. But I think what worried me from what we saw was that she claimed to be in love with Paul. They were showing these romantic scenes while also
Right.
showing these scenes of like her being aware of the Bene Gesserit's religious manipulation and her speaking out against it.
hmm
It just didn't make sense to me for her to be both roles of both Paul's lover and his most vocal critic. And I just couldn't see how they could reconcile that. And when I saw for myself, I still don't see it. I don't those two things don't make sense to me.
Yeah.
And it feels like she's not in love with him at the end of the book, that she's left him. And but they do have that line where Paul says she'll come to understand. I've seen it. So I don't know if that's just a throwaway line to assure us that she'll be back. It's fine.
It's
Um,
becoming the hyperspace of Dune. It's a
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
We're just gonna go into hyperdrive. Yeah.
And it's really unclear now because I'm not sure how Villeneuve will handle the next film. So
The next jump. Right.
if he's
Right.
gonna jump forth in time, are they just gonna reconcile off screen? Or I mean, are we not gonna see that. It's just not going to make sense to us until she's dead.
Well, I mean, it's in the film, and it's definitely in the book. Is that she's part of the prophecy? She, she's who he dreamt of for many years, and she's known the prophecy. So I almost feel like it's like, okay, we're gonna make you're gonna love him, but you're also gonna fight against the prophecy. So you're gonna leave him. You're gonna leave because
Yeah.
that's what this modern mind does. It's like, you'll you're just missing a really beautiful, dynamic there by doing
Yeah.
that. And I just, peace out. I'm hitting my worm. I got my two
Yeah.
hook. I'm gone.
I don't need no man.
I just
But that's what
I just need my worm. I'm out.
but that's what Villeneuve's intention was. It was a pointed, creative decision to change Chaney to play this role as the skeptic, and it's supposed to be the reflection of the change within Paul. This someone who's so close to him and that can see what's happening to him and what's this evolution within him. So the audience, all the audience, normies included, general audiences who are not familiar with the story, can understand the main theme of Paul's journey and what's happening to him. And that was his decision for it. I don't believe he needed to have done it. I think he could have accomplished it another way, but they felt that the love story was just too simplistic, that it was just so one-dimensional for Chani. And I feel I'm let down with that, because I think the love story is incredibly profound, and it's one of the few bright spots within this kind of, not dystopian, but it is a very like a darker, more study of just humanity, and it's not pretty, this saga. And so
It's
these
very adult.
few little bright spots like Dugledo and Jessica, their love was also foreshadowing Paul and Chaney's love. And when he's in the throes of being the Kwisatz Haderach and seeing all of these past, present, and future, like he's just in the chaos of prescience. She is what grounds him, and she's what keeps him tethered to humanity, their love for each other. So, and she's still that warrior. She's a warrior priestess. That's the other half of her character. She's
mother.
Also, yeah. And that's another thing too, because they condensed the story. I mean,
Right.
they would
Let's
have
talk
had
about
years
that.
together. They would have had years together to have this deep relationship, this deep connection, and they just like condensed it to 6 months. So the weight of their love is
The
just
weight of
isn't
everything.
there.
The weight of everything. The
Yeah,
weight of everything.
mhm.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. Go
No,
on.
no,
please.
you're right. Yeah.
Please.
Yeah. And that just comes with time, and I just wish that we had, but this was just streamlined so much, and Villeneuve had to get, this was his way of interpreting this tale, and it could have huge repercussions for the next film, but I cannot foresee
It was
what will
very
happen.
odd. It was very odd because I kept seeing things happening, and like, okay, well, Aaliyah's not born yet, so yeah, time wise, okay, it's not even 9 months. And then Josh Brolin comes back. He's got long hair. Wait a minute, can you grow your hair that long in the 6 months? It was a little. That's actually nitpicking, guys. But you're so right. Their love is so profound. I think if any conflict that there was when they first met. Like, we don't know who you are, dude. You better be cool. But it's and they go through some stuff, and of course, what kind of sets him on his ultimate path of vengeance is the loss of his son. I mean, that's shared, because when she walks in to that final scene, the emperor and all them, she's got tears, and that's and I'm talking guys in the book. That always gets me every time I read that. That always gets me, Elaine. Um, I just think that there's so many beautiful scenes. They really missed it. They really, really, really missed it. Now let's also talk about the short time, because we're talking about two to 2.5, 3 years. Aaliyah.
Mm.
Um,
Yeah. Poor
you
Aaliyah.
know, for a second, man, I thought she was like perpetually in utero for like, damn, it's 3 years. She ain't born yet.
Well, I started to wonder too. I mean, Betty Jessert has
Right?
supreme control of her body, but I don't know about just
What,
holding.
is this like the ultimate pro-life statement?
Now, I don't know. From a
Anyways.
film standpoint, I
Mm-hmm.
can understand why he wanted to avoid the strange, um, adult seeming child. And I think that wasn't the reason for the time constraints or condensing of it, but that I mean it was a had to be. Oh, I can't even think of the word. I'm sorry. I'm so tired. One of the a
She's
casualty. That's I'm sorry. A casualty of this time
right.
condensing. And it was very sad. She's one of my favorite characters is Aaliyah. It's a beautiful, tragic story. Like there's so many
She's
tragic
an
stories, but
abomination.
yeah, I
It's
didn't
a
like.
great role. It's a
I
great
wish that
character.
Jessica made a pointed decision to take the water of life. I didn't like that it was kind of she didn't know what it was that
That
she was
didn't make
taking.
sense. What
Yeah, I didn't like that.
the hesitation to where it was almost like it was they basically forced her to take him. Like,
Yeah.
no,
No, she
no.
knew what she was doing. In the
Yeah.
book, she knew she made the choice to put her child
Yeah.
at risk, yes, but
Yes.
at the end of the day, she thought that was the best choice for their survival.
Mm-hmm.
And I think
Mm-hmm.
that's crucial to Jessica's character for her to live with the consequences of that action when it comes
Mm-hmm.
to what the ramifications for her daughter. And so yeah, I feel like that's something that's going to be missing with Jessica's arc. We've lost a portion of each character by kind of fusing them together,
Mm-hmm.
which some think is kind of brilliant, I guess, in how they did it. And in some ways, I can see that, but in other ways, yes, it's just the tragedy of what was lost with both character arcs by
Sure.
doing that. So you could kind of see Jessica was becoming the abomination. She was kind of overwhelmed by these other memories at times, and she didn't seem fully in control herself, which
It,
doesn't make sense from a lore
well,
standpoint, but that's what they were.
it's almost as if in between, because they didn't know if they were going to get greenlit with Dune 2, right? Uh, After the first one came out. I mean, there was some time in between, correct? That the film came out. When did they get the green light?
Yeah,
Was it a few months after the fact?
I think it was a few weeks
Oh, really?
after the official worldwide theatrical release. I think
Okay.
they had a weird release. They actually had it
Mm-hmm.
staggered internationally first, and then for its domestic release, that's when they did
Mm-hmm.
the day and date streaming theatrical.
Okay.
So I think they knew
It
it was going to
felt
be
like a long time.
successful. Yeah, it was like a
Because I
few weeks.
right, because I want to say when there was like an interview or like one of the actors who promoting, like they didn't know if they got the green light yet. You know, but let me go with that. Let me just go with that because that's what it felt like, and that's what we're gonna go with. It
Yeah.
almost felt as if they got the green light, and then Rebecca's people, Zendaya's people, all the people that didn't get like the big amount of screen time in one gave their notes to the studio. It's like, oh, you want Zendaya? You want This is what we want for our actor. More screen time. I'm not kidding. Because it was almost like he wrote more for them where it's like this is not their story. It's just not their story.
Well, I feel like there would have been, even if you'd had done their stories faithfully, there would have been
Mm-hmm.
plenty of them in there. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, they just changed so much. But funnily enough,
Yeah.
I actually do like Jessica better in this film as opposed to part one because she's just a blubbery mess most of the time. In part one, it is so annoying. As a Bene Gesserit, she would have such control over her emotions. She was never openly weeping like that. And
No, it was always internal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I
Mm-hmm.
get that you want to show what her mindset is at times, but most of the time you just see her falling apart. And so at least there's that
Yeah, that's funny.
improvement in this
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
So, but yeah.
Okay. All right. So two more things as far as getting wrong here, or like kind of damaged. And you brought it up earlier. Stilgar, the Fremen. We got this. We got Northside and we got Southside. Yo, we got Bloods and Crips. We don't get along. Look at all those fools from the South Side. They believe in God. They believe in religion. I'm young. I'm hip. I'm Zendaya. I believe in resistance, man.
Yeah, I didn't like that. The
Yeah,
Fremen
yeah. If anyone
are
doesn't know what I'm talking about and you haven't seen the film yet, I'm not joking. That is kind of how they approached and divided up. Half the Fremen believed in religion and the prophecies. The other half that didn't were younger from the north and made fun of the old people from the south. I'm sorry, Elaine, go on.
no. I was just saying that in the novel, the Fremen have their strength because of their unity, because they're all on the same page
Mm,
and they all follow the same ways of the desert, and they are all deeply religious. And even some did doubt whether Paul was the Mahdi, and I mean that was in the story as well, that they just didn't know. Jameis definitely was skeptical of it too.
mm-hmm.
But besides that, they were just deeply spiritual, and of course they worshipped or viewed Shai Hulud as the physical manifestation of God. They, so they had deep reverence for the sandworm, and I didn't even feel that very much. Mostly, I guess, just from the Maker Keeper. I did like her.
Yeah.
That one scene where she took the little maker and extracted the water of life,
She was
showed all
great.
that.
That was a
Yeah,
cool. That was a
I actually
cool.
really did like that scene, and there are some scenes, like little
Mm-hmm.
scenes like that I really did like.
Mm-hmm.
But
But toned down. So
yeah,
toned down.
but the Fremen are all on the same page, and it is why they've thrived, why they what their part of their strength comes from. So and I feel it was just done to
Mm-hmm.
further streamline the story, to kind of again
Mm.
condense all of these events into 6 months or less. And that was the big thing. If he goes south, then the prophecy or the future will
Da-da-da.
be
Right.
set, and this is the path that we're going to be on. And
Mm.
yeah, so again, a lot of the nuance and a lot of the depth and richness of the story and the Fremen culture was kind of watered down, I guess, and done in such a way that general audiences would understand it, I guess. So, but
Yeah. No.
again, book is better.
Yeah. I again, and you kind of miss the point of these beautiful people. you know, like what you said. That they were so such so disenfranchised, of lack of a better word, that they
Mhm.
thrived right underneath right underneath their noses, because they were unified, and they and then in their beliefs as well. So again, it's like it's was an odd choice. It was an odd decision, and I don't think it didn't work for me. And I definitely didn't like how they were making fun of they they were making fun of people praying on their knees, and in a very modern take, is that look at those religious people waiting for something, waiting to be saved. Well, screw that. We don't need that. We're gonna fight, that whole thing.
Yeah, it was definitely some modernism, kind of injected in there. It just didn't feel, that kind of took me out of where we are. We're on
Yeah.
Arrakis, and this is the Fremen way of life. This isn't a utopia. These beliefs have made them into this strong and hardy people, so they were able to survive, and not only that, but to thrive. And this is just how this culture developed over these thousands of years. So Yeah, so just to have
Read the
something that
books.
kind of touched onto something modern-esque like that, I was like, didn't feel like it belonged there.
Right. But
Yeah.
now the last one before we kind of get to our final, we're gonna have a fun segment, but before the fun segment, the future for Doom 3, what can we expect? Because that being said, at the end of the day, this is a very successful, different type of sci-fi film. It's a beautiful film. It really is. And like I think me and you are like, there's a lot we loved about it. What do you what have you heard? What do you know? What can you say in regards to Dune 3 and some developments? And what can we for sure expect?
Well, I am excited for Anya Taylor-Joy's casting. I that actually she was my fan casting originally for Princess Irulan. So
Yeah,
I'm actually
great.
really excited that she's part of it, and I think for Aaliyah is actually very intriguing, and I think she could do very well in that role. Um, Also, I don't know if we want to get too deep into spoilers of what we can expect,
Yeah,
but I mean,
yeah.
there are things that I'm looking for. I don't want to get too much into the weeds of this story, but there are things that I am looking forward to because things that he has done well are the Bene Gesserit for the most part. So I'm looking forward to seeing like the Bene Gesserit home planet, Wallach 9.
Mm.
I think how they've done Getty Prime and Arrakis, I think that'd be very well done, and I'm really excited for that and how they've done certain other characters that will be brought back seemingly
Mm.
that have died. I don't okay, but
Mm.
that anyways, again, that's like spoilery. But like Frank Herbert gives you the details like right away. It's not gonna be spoiled for very long. I'm just saying. But there are things that he has established and I am looking forward to. But having said that, there are things that I'm concerned with, mostly because
Mm.
of the world building or lack thereof, with regards to the Spacing Guild and even the Mentats. I mean, we didn't even get a small scenes with Thufir
Oh,
Hawat
wow.
because it's a Bene Gesserit adaptation. That's what Villeneuve said. But the thing is, I think it actually ended up weakening their influence, as it turns out, because Dune encompasses several different factions of this universe, and the Bene
Mm.
Gesserit, the way they wield their power and influence amidst these other powerful factions, is what's most fascinating about them. So I think if you don't, showcase the other powerful schools or factions like the Mentats and the Spacing Guild, and another one that
Mm.
will be introduced in the next film that's very obscure and strange. And if we couldn't even get the Mentats, like a couple scenes, I'm concerned that we're not going to get the other factions that are a crucial part of the next story. So I'm just as concerned about the lore and world building as I am about Cheney and how they're going to reconcile
Oof.
their relationship.
It's a lot.
And if they can do it, there may be a way for them to do it in a way that they've depicted Chani so far. If she can come to understand, it seemed that she was already pivoting towards laying blame on Jessica solely because Jessica took on a huge role as far as the manipulation of her people.
Mm.
So I think she may
Yeah.
just come to blame her. They kind of had their little tiff at the end of part 2. But if she can come to understand what's going on in Paul's mind and that he is at the whim of destiny, he's just living in this chaotic world of prescience, and if she comes to understand that, they're going to have to, I don't know how they're going to do it with the timeline. So it's just going to be very confusing. And again, I can't foresee how they're going to do that part. And
Okay, well, didn't he say he wants to jump like 10 years or something like that? Like he in the
I mean,
timeline, so
Taylor Joy is in it. I mean, she's what, like in her 30s, almost 30 years old.
well, no, no,
So,
no, no, not to film. Like he'll probably film it in a couple of years. They're probably going to pressure him to
oh, as far
hey.
as when the film comes out.
I'm talking, yeah, right, I'm talking about like I'm found in the timeline of the story.
Mhm.
There's going to be some sort of time jump, but
Yeah.
I know he wasn't he quoted as saying that he wants a couple of years on his actors.
Well,
You
he
know.
wanted to take a break. He did say
Mhm.
that, and he's got a few other projects in the in develop or early stages of development. He's signed on to do a rendezvous with Rama adaptation of the Arthur C. Clarke novel, which I am actually really excited for. I think that could be well suited to his directorial style. And also a Cleopatra film and another project. I think a secret project. I don't know. So he did say he wanted to take a break, but that they were kind of looking towards the 2025 to start. But
start filming.
I don't know. I think Warner Brothers will try to pressure. Well, I think
Yeah.
Legendary actually is the one that will make the final decision. I think they put up most of the money for the production.
I mean, could you see it in a world where they go on without him?
I actually wouldn't mind if they recasted Janie and Timothy Chalamet.
Wait, what?
What do you mean without? Oh, you mean without Villeneuve?
I meant without the director. How could they recast?
Well, they're
their
not going to
stars?
replace him now, like because he said he didn't want to do anything after. But actually, this other statement he just said, "Ask me again after Dune Messiah, and then we'll see how I'm doing." So the possibility is still there, but I do feel that maybe others like Guillermo del Toro or Christopher Nolan could also take up the mantle to do Children of Dune and beyond. But yeah, there's tons of potential with the Dune universe, and tons that they've just only scratched the surface of as far as the story. So we'll see if they can shepherd it to where they can take full advantage of from storytelling possibilities.
Yeah.
I'm a little nervous about the TV series. That's, I mean, more than a little, obviously.
Is that happening?
They say it's supposed to come out this year, I think, but I'm not hopeful, and that's probably just overstating things. But no, not excited. Well, I think it's the wrong premise. And they've also like changed premises like halfway through. They had to but change directors, change showrunners, a couple of lead actors. It's very chaotic production, and it seems very much like a creativity by committee that we see in a lot of troubled productions, especially with Disney. But I'm starting to see those same red flags for this production, and hopefully they can get their act together. It's really sad. I feel like there is tons of potential for this universe, but it's just lacking the ones that with the knowledge and passion to do it. We'll see. Hope for the best, expect the worst.
Yes, you said that you want them to recast Chalamet and Zendaya. Are you crazy?
Well, if we're moving forward, because do you feel like if we're moving forward with Anya Taylor-Joy,
biggest stars that that Hollywood.
The only reason why I say that is because Anya Taylor-Joy is the same age as Timothy Chalamet, and if we're gonna have Anya Taylor-Joy in it, I kind of feel like we would need older looking actors, especially with Zendaya will still look the same, and Timothy Chalamet will probably still look the same too. But probably not. It's probably going to be one of those things where they're probably just going to age up Aaliyah. Oh, she's the Abomination. She can just look older than she is. Kind of a weird thing like that. I don't know.
Listen, we did a video the other day recasting Chani. And the people who we recasted, we came up with like 6 actors just with below Zendaya out of the water, right? I mean, it's on everyone's mind. I mean, I think that's a big consensus. You know what I mean? Like, it just people didn't like her as big as a fan base she has. You know, I just thought she was miscast. I actually don't think she's much of an actor, but that's me. But interesting. Okay, Elaine. So we're almost done. We're almost to wrap it up. I know you've been hitting all the live streams. Let's bring Fletcher back in, and why don't we look at some of these star comments, and then we'll finish up with some fun stuff. What do you say, Elaine?
Sounds good.
All right, okay, here we go. With Dune 2, if you read the book, you will know what it could have been. Okay.
Yeah, I hope people will read the book after this. Will be inspired for that.
Goober says, can't wait for the sequel. Dune and Dooner. Wait, hold on, go back to that. Go back to that. So, Goober, I was told by Villeneuve that I'm going to get more of a role in Dune and Duna. Christopher Walken here. Dune and Duna, more cowbell. It's crazy. Thank you. All right, go on. Darth Plato is a member of the channel. Thank you so much, Darth. Herbert crafted a worldview that merged Habsburg, Ottoman empires, modern business, monopoly, and Jesuit black legend. All right, let's go on. Another monster. Austin Butler did an amazing Stellan Skarsgård impersonation. He sure did.
Yeah.
He sure did. I mean, yeah, he did. He was perfect. I just wasn't crazy about the Baron. In the second one, the first one, he was great. Like, but then I don't know.
Yeah, they really focused on Fade this time around.
Yeah, really did. Raph M, I thought it was great. Can't wait for Doom Messiah. Okay, there you go. Solomon Thornton, Paul and Channy, love theme was beautiful, but I prefer Dune 1984 by Toto. Da, 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 da. What do you prefer, Elaine?
I mean,
if you had to pick one, I mean that's kind of not fair.
I prefer Hans Zimmer. I mean, that's what suits the story for me better. But Toto just works for that. I mean, David Lynch, like you were saying, is that Dune film is a fever dream, and it's got such a strange, out there style to it that it just fits. So
it fits. That
it's
movie
not my personal
bizarre
taste. It's not my.
It's a bizarre time capsule. That film. Okay, next. And Know Me Without You from Midnight's Edge, Espanol, doing shorts there on the channel. Good job. Elaine is a sweetheart. So much Dune knowledge.
Oh, that's so nice.
Yeah,
you're so nice.
Elaine, you have earned a fan supporter for life. I salute you.
Oh, thank you, Solomon.
That's nice. It's nice. I would love to see Leah Shadu would ensure my bloodline. Oh, that actress? Is that the French actress?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Fenring, Lady Fenring.
Oh my God. There was an article that came. Huh?
She was good.
Oh, go back. Go walking to this. Can you find a photo of him, Fletch? and then they kind of like air, blow dried his hair out.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, buddy. Walking was like a Hugh Hefner. With back to Leah, the French actress, she made some comments in the news, and they put up such a beautiful photo of her. I was just like, Tim's talk. How old is Paul in Dune 2? 17?
Well, I mean, it picks up right after Dune Part 1 ends, so. I mean, he's 15.
Yeah, that's another thing. He's perpetually 15.
but we don't know, like from a film standpoint, we don't really have a basis for his age. He just looks somewhat like 18 years old, I would think. So I'd say he's around 18 still.
Okay.
I mean, because there's no passage of time between Part 1 and 2. And there's 6 months, because Jessica's still pregnant. So that's kind of your baseline for the time frame there. So there's no time jump. So he's about the same age, maybe a year older. I don't know.
In the book, it's 3 years, right? About three years, 15 to 17ish.
Yeah, pretty sure he's 18 by the end. Yeah.
By the end, then okay. Retro Nerd Girl. Paul said he would come back. She would come back, which she has to in order to work for the future stories. She can't be his enemy. I mean,
Well, yeah, we'll see. On
I
I
mean,
think
yeah.
it might still she might still be a skeptic and a vocal critic of the religious manipulation. How that will affect the love story, it's definitely going to be a turmoil in the Atreides household.
Well, they set it up as it's going to be a stupid soap opera type of setup.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean,
The days of our lives,
the days of our
like
you know what we
sands through the Arrakis.
dude, you know what you're I know you're joking, but we actually have a funny video for you coming up. Okay, let's go on. Let me see. Are you back with us, Fletcher?
Yeah.
She's smart enough to worry about prophecy, but can't handle a political marriage. Yeah, yeah. Georgie girl, what's up, Georgie girl? When I told my husband the storyline of this movie versus the book and Chani's behavior, he said it sounded like Denis tried to create unnecessary drama.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah. Whose channel were you on yesterday? Like a big channel, Elaine.
Hmm.
I know. Quinn.
Oh yes, Quinn's ideas. Yeah, it's big Dune
That was
tuber stream.
that was good. That was good.
Danica was on there too, and the
Yeah.
guys from the Gamjabar podcast, and we all kind of
Oh,
got into the nitty gritty of the Dune lore and just
man, you
went
guys
crazy.
John Ware Jr. I wonder if Chaney, if the Chaney change was studio mandated because of Zendaya's casting. I mean, I think it is. I think it is. I prefer how the miniseries told the love story. Yeah, I think this might make the miniseries more popular. What do you think?
Yeah, I hear people talking about that more than ever. It always surprised me, even in the marketing campaign,
Mm-hmm.
when journalists would ask, because there's been so many interviews, they would ask about, oh, how about the previous David Lynch version, and how is this different, or something like that. But no one would ever bring up the sci-fi miniseries ever. So, like, I don't know.
Yeah, I actually have the mini series like on my queue to check out, and bust my worm that way.
And Dune 3 exists. There's Children of Dune, the sequel to that. James McAvoy is in it. He's great.
People were wondering what I look like in the new Dune movie. I haven't acted in 4 years. Here I am. I picked out my own costume. And I got to tell you, it was a blast.
It's just
Boy.
Christopher Walken and Burt Walken.
It was so odd. Ay, ay, ay.
And I don't know what he's wearing.
And it was so quick too. Like a two quick scenes. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Okay, he's gonna
more
watch
cowbell.
more Dune Bell. So listen, the memes are out. The fun, you're in pop culture when you're doing the memes and people doing videos. I don't know how good your Spanish is, but I wanted to bring this up. How's your Spanish, Elaine?
Oh, I only know a few words that I can understand and read and comprehend, but I'm not good at speaking.
Well, listen, we just put this video up a minute in Espanol. I think you're going to get the gist of it, and then Fletcher will explain after the fact. How about that?
Sounds good.
All right, here we go.
Midnight Search en español con amor. Televisa presenta. Televisa. Arrakis Producción presenta Timothy Chalamet como Paul Atreides. Zendaya como Chani's el desierto.
Of the desert. Chani of the desert.
Rebecca Ferguson. Elenco especial. Javier Bardem. Y Austin Butler en Los Gusanos también lloran. Midnight Search en español con amor.
That's good.
So in in Mexico, there was a huge soap opera called
Oh,
"The Rich Also Cry." Los
right.
ricos también lloran. So I named
Uh-huh.
it. So I named it the worms also cry.
Yeah, Los Gusanos.
Los gusanos también lloran because
So the
everything's like
worms also. So
pulverized.
that's the name of the
Yeah.
telenovela. Is the worms also cry?
Yes.
But where did you get this footage, dude?
Oh, so part of it is, part of it, of course, is from Dune,
Oh. No,
and
yeah, but
there's also part. So this is,
they're like in
when they do
Paris.
when they do like this, Esquire or Vogue, they do these like photo shoots and stuff, and
Okay,
then they have these like trailers for those photo shoots,
right.
and they're usually very very well produced. I mean, a lot of
Mm-hmm.
people were joking about the ones from like Rings of Power back in the day. It's just like, it looked
Right,
like there was like a
Yes.
Vidal Sassoon
right.
commercial. So they learned from that one. So they didn't put them in the costumes, but it still looks the same.
I
It's the
mean,
same kind of style. So it's like, come on.
okay, so it's the actors and they're
Right.
staged different, like the blocking, like physically, they're all like
Right.
in front of the Eiffel Tower. I mean,
Right.
what?
Well, they're in France for the dude's French. So I guess they were just like, let's fly everybody to France and do a photo shoot, with all the actors and the directors and stuff like that, and do kind of like a promo for the show. And you take part of that, you put some Dune spices, and then you just you butcher the names, and you got a telenovela. That's done.
Oh man, this is brilliant, bro. You did a great job. You did a
Yeah,
great
it's
job.
awesome.
I mean, and then there was Denny Villeneuve smiling. I mean, that's so. Oh.
Elenco especial, Javier Bardem y Austin Butler en Los Gusanos También Lloran. Miniserie en español con amor.
Oh, Los Gusanos también lloran. Oh, brilliant,
Love
dude.
it.
We
Brilliant.
love to.
Brilliant job. Brilliant job. Okay. You can catch that video, that short on Midnight's Edge Espanol. Elaine, we got memes, and then we're gonna get out of here. We got a few memes. You up for reacting to
I
some
love
of them?
memes. Yeah.
Do you love
Bring
memes?
'em on.
Why do you love memes?
Dune memes, especially. Oh,
All right, here we go. Crowd cheered when these two showed up to fight the worms and do.
I love that movie. So good.
Isn't Fred Ward dead?
I think so.
Okay, could
Aw.
in the Dune world, right? In 10,000, was it how many years? In how many? 200,000?
Roughly over 20,000 years.
Okay,
into the
20,000
future.
years. They could resurrect these people and have them fight the worms, right?
That's true. If they
That's
got
true.
their. Mm-hmm.
That's true. Maybe they're
It could
like,
work.
they're prophesizing, and Atreides is like, all right, I'm gonna anoint these dudes. Boom, bringing them back, bringing them
Bringing it
back. Yeah. But seriously, rest in peace, Red Ward.
Yeah. He's so good.
He's good in that.
Iconic.
He's good in a lot of those 80s and 90s films. Okay, we got another one. Let me see.
That's good.
What is this? What is this, Fletcher? What's going on with the
Spice World. Everybody knows the Spice World. Tell you what you want, what you really, really want. I wanna Paula Atreides. That's what you want.
but they have the things in their nose.
Yeah, they got the eyes. It's the World Concert. You guys didn't get the tickets? It's right after the show. You're supposed to save the popcorn bucket to get a discount on the tickets. It's all connected.
Popcorn bucket, Elaine?
No, I don't have. I think it's only AMC theaters that do that, and there's none nearby me unless I buy one online, and I'm not going to do that.
No, I got a real cool tall boy signature cup. When I went to
That's
Cinemark,
nice.
I'm like, that is way better than the that weird monstrosity. Okay, here we go. Bullies at work mercilessly mock man who hasn't yet seen Dune 2 part. 2 yet. Is this a true story, Fletcher? What's going on
This
here?
is a true story. I mean, everybody's like, you haven't watched it yet? And I'm like, dude, I'm busy. I don't have time. It's like, how can you have not watched it? It's funny because even people are like, come to my stream. You want to talk about Dune? And I'm like, dude, I haven't seen it. Just I feel like, this it's a little bit of it's like a hit back thing, I was feeling this one personally.
Right. I think there's some rumbling in the chat. My wife and I took our young daughter to see them in concert. Was not impressed.
Oh, man.
Oh man, Spice Girls. It all makes sense now.
It all makes sense. Yeah.
It's
a remix with Christopher Walken. That's what Christopher Walken was getting into music.
The Spice Cowbell.
Remix. That's it's happening now. So that's gonna come in the third one. That's what's all gonna come together.
God save us.
Yes.
Don't act like you don't still rock out to the Spice Girls.
Let's tell you what you want.
Oh, here we go. All right. Texas National, getting a little political here. There's a little political Dune.
It's very political, yeah.
Texas National Guard deploys giant sandworms on southern border. Wow.
Yeah, those Texans. Wow.
Yeah, that's
rough.
Powerful statement.
Yeah.
A powerful statement. But I would think the sandworms are with the Latinos.
Well, it depends which side they're on. Yeah.
No. Regardless, it's like, oh yeah, we got the worms to stop them coming, and the worms are like, nah, wait, we're with those guys, and they go underneath the wall, they get on, and then they jump the wall, and then they go different parts of the country.
I mean, the idea of deploying the sandworm seems funny to me. like they have them in a cage somewhere.
Border worms.
Border worms.
Wow. Remind me to show you the poster I got, because I think there's something going on there. Got one more. My twink boyfriend turned into a genocidal dictator cinematic universe.
It's a playlist.
I
haven't seen Hunger Games movie, so I don't.
Yeah.
No, that's about.
That's good. Great job, Fletcher, on getting these memes.
Yes.
Getting these memes, always a great job.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
We're gonna finish it up, but I just wanted to show you guys this poster I got. And I think Lily also got one too.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you,
awesome.
Elaine? Can you see it?
Mm-hmm. That's awesome.
But do you see the Chihuahua's head?
No.
Two eyes in the nose.
Oh my goodness. That's so funny. Took me a second.
No, you can't unsee it. It is
oh my god.
The Chihuahua from Dune.
The Chihuahua's coming.
The Chihuahua is gonna.
So that's instead of Beverly Hills Chihuahua, is gonna be Dune Chihuahua.
Dune Chihuahua.
That's so funny.
From the south.
That's
from
fun.
the
Yeah,
south.
I can't unsee it now. That's all I see.
I know, right? That's all you see now.
You can't.
Man, there's
long
marketing,
live,
man.
long live the Chihuahuas. Anyway.
Actually, that's quite fitting. It's the war pug. It's the new war pug.
There you go.
There you go. There you go.
Don't forget to close out the poll. We got 45
we had a
votes.
poll. Okay, all right. Let me end the poll. Okay, we had 45 votes. Lovely. And 46% of you guys loved the film. I mean, did you love the film at the end of the day, Elaine?
I love the film. I'm gonna buy it, and I still hope we'll one day get an extended edition with bonus features and all the works.
You're saying that, yeah.
It's a great film, and it is one that was made with love and care by hundreds and hundreds of people, and it's a great achievement. But yeah, adaptation aside, it's a great film.
Yeah, I'm absolutely with you. I mean, listen, I've given it my money twice. I think that's the best way to
and I want to see it again. I mean,
yeah, and I want to see it again. 26%, it's all right. 15%, we got Dune at home. 11% hated it. Yeah, I mean, I can't say I hated it. I can't. No, I didn't like some choices, but it's a cinematic feat. What can I say? That Chihuahua definitely has worms. Ooh,
Uh,
Chihuahua of Doom. Darth Plato coming in with the zingers. The Chihuahua must flow. Yeah, I'm telling you, canon see it, dude. I forgot who told me that. Someone showed me it's like it's a Chihuahua. Like, oh
that's funny.
no. Okay. Well, Elaine, it has been a pleasure, and I know you've been rocking and rolling. So we'll let you go, and then we'll run our credits, but let's let you go first. So where can people find you, and what you just dropped an amazing video. Was it today or yesterday?
Well, there was one today on the
What was it?
extended cut release, the extended cut, or
Yes,
Villeneuve's.
I love that video. I loved it. Yes. I'm going to
So
give you
yeah.
center stage there, but go ahead. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Paulie and Fletcher. It's great hanging out with y'all and talking about Dune and in the chat as well. Thank you all for the love. But you can find me here on YouTube at Nerd Cookies, where I cover sci-fi and fantasy news and lore. If you want to learn more about Dune, I've got a pretty decent playlist for Dune lore, and there's a bunch of different things on there as well. Babylon 5, Battlestar Galactica, Stargate. Hopefully you'll find something that you like. And you can also find me on social media at Nerd Cookies. Thanks again, guys. This is awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you. And let's have you back soon before the next Doom movie. How about that?
Yeah. We'll have some time. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have a good night,
All
Elaine.
Good
right.
We'll
Good
see
night.
night.
ya.
Take care.
Take care. That was pretty cool.
That was
That
fun.
was pretty cool. Listen, there's fortunately some sad breaking news.
Oh,
Uh,
yeah.
let's just bring it up really quickly and pay our respects. Breaking news: Dragon Ball creator Akira Toriyama has sadly passed away at the age of 68.
Yeah.
Some people already chiming in. His legacy will live on forever. Thank you for creating the most iconic anime character of all time, Akira. Fletcher, comments, thoughts?
Yeah. So he had passed away like a little bit ago. His family had just released his his passing. He was fighting sickness, and he unfortunately passed away. I think like a few days ago, and they just released a
Mm,
statement. It's also sad because he was working on a lot of new Dragon Ball material.
mm,
Being the creator of Dragon Ball. Um, yeah,
mhm.
I think there's like 3 new Dragon Ball projects coming out, so it's like
Wow.
it's really crazy. And I mean he's been creating longer than people have been alive. This characters that he created have been around for a long time, and have are huge. I mean, all over the world. I can tell you that in South America, uh,
Mm.
Dragon Ball is just as big as
The
any.
biggest.
Yeah, so it's like he's the Dragon Ball is right up there with Superman and Batman, um,
It's
for
the
for a
biggest.
popular character. So it's it,
And
it is it is
mhm.
sad.
And we're pulling this even though there's news from all over. But the gentleman that posted is a very well-known animator himself, Jorge Gutierrez, the creator of Book of Life and Maya and the Three. Adios to one of the most important and influential artists of our time, of our lifetime. Gracias, Maestro Akira Toriyama. And went on to say, I painted my tribute to him a few years ago. I remember watching Dragon Ball in the late 80s with my grandma in Mexico City.
Yeah, yeah. It's kind of
Hmm.
sad, but it happens. But it did take everybody kind of by surprise because I don't think many people knew how sick he was. So But the family has said that you don't have to send flowers or anything like that to
Mm-hmm.
respect their
Mm-hmm.
privacy.
Sure.
But yeah, I guess it kind of hit kind of hard too because we didn't know he had passed away for a bit, so it was like, okay, now they just released it, so it's like,
Well,
oh
it's
man,
like you said, private. It's
yeah, yeah,
an illness
yeah.
he's been battling, but we just think of 68 as being still relatively young,
Oh yeah, definitely, yeah, yeah,
and
yeah. He was still
so
working.
he's still working. We're just so
Yeah.
used to our elders being with us into the 80s and 90s, and so we're always taken a little aback, even when David Bowie passed away at 69, I believe.
Yeah.
People were like, "Wow, he's too young." So there you have it. Rest in peace to the Dragon Ball creator Akira Toriyama. Have you checked out Shogun at all?
No, no, I've been really very dry on a lot of stuff. I've been
Mm-hmm.
kind of just
Mm-hmm.
reading and just I have stuff playing in the background, but I've been just kind of like doing the
I
old
know, man.
shows, like old shows and stuff a lot in the
Mm-hmm.
background. I mean, I've been watching like Battle Beyond the Stars the other day. I watched that.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. It was just
Uh,
like goofy thing. Got Godzilla versus Mecha Godzilla. Just goofy things on the background. I still can't get through
mhm.
Rebel Moon. I still can't get through it. I like fall asleep.
Okay, we have a couple announcements, but I did get to see. Speaking of animation, I did get to see Robot Dreams last night. My
Yeah, I saw
review,
that.
yeah, my review is up. I was so impressed. What a beautiful story. I don't know what is going on. I guess I had my. I guess it wasn't on my stuff. Usually I'm on do not disturb. Sorry about that, guys. Robot Dreams. It's nominated for Best Academy Animated Film coming up.
Mm,
I've seen a lot of them this year. So Robot Dreams, The Boy and the Heron, Spider Verse.
hmm
I saw one more. I think the Boy and the Heron is gonna win. I mean, it's just blew my mind.
mm.
Uh Darth Plato. I've done some comments on Shogun on the Outcast Creative. Okay.
Oh, cool. Yeah, everybody seems to be liking it.
Well, Darth's saying that he's disappointed, like it's going downhill or
Oh,
something like
okay.
that.
I know that the
So
first two episodes, everybody was loving it.
I've seen the first one. I've seen the
And you
first.
liked it, right?
We liked it. We liked it
Okay.
enough to like, all right, let's check out number two. But it's like you know, we just haven't gotten back to it. And I
Right.
know
And it's
there's,
not that many. It's a short show, isn't it?
no, it's gonna be 10 episodes.
Oh, okay. I thought it was
Yeah,
shorter than that.
yeah. No, I think it's 10 episodes, but
Mm.
there's now 3 available. So I'll check it out. Okay, listen, guys, this Monday for our next live show. Live with us is acclaimed artist Nina Diaz. She's been on the channel before. Performance live. She's gonna do a live song with us. An interview next Monday, 1 p.m. Pacific. Please mark your calendars. Make sure you have your alerts up. Make sure you're subscribed if you're watching this on the replay. But Nina is absolutely fantastic. And what is going on? We're gonna put a separate video up tomorrow. But what is going on is she's going to be performing live for several weeks here in Southern California with this kind of theatrical, artistic live performance. So it's gonna be a little theater, a little bit of podcast, and a little bit of music. She's gonna tell us all about it. It's this Monday, 1 p.m. Nina Diaz with us live here on the Slant. Do you want to say anything else there?
Yeah. Well, actually, we have a couple of people that they had. How is Mr. Butters? We're asking.
Oh yeah, that little old guy,
On a Mr. Butters update, Bonzo
Mr.
was
Butters
asking.
update. Sweetheart, he's doing great. He had a good day. I don't think she can hear me.
Oh, okay.
Mr. Butters had a let me get a little. Let me see if I can find the latest video of him. One of our dogs is Mr. Butters. The other one's Bandit. And unfortunately, he got really ill. He got an infection and he got a really nasty infection and fever. And it almost took him out. It was pretty quick. So we were a little in shock about that. But he spent the night at a hospital 2 nights ago, the doggy hospital. That was pretty harrowing. But he's been back with us since yesterday. And he had a great day today. We're gonna take it day by day. And he's on some good meds. I think right now the main med he's on is to get rid of the bronchitis that he has. He has a bronchitis. He's a bronchial infection, and that really was, he's got a couple things going on. I think what helped was that he's relatively young. I think he's 4 or 5. We're not really sure, and he's such a tough dude that that he's. Some people want to see my doggy. Okay, let me see where's that video at. So yeah, it was pretty emotional, guys. It was pretty tough. I mean, honestly, everyone's sleep is off. Romy is, Romy was very um it's very tough for her. So it's just tough. I mean, we're not going to have children, but these are our children. And I'm trying to, excuse me guys, where's the play at? Where's the
It's
play?
in the center.
Yeah, I'm sharing the screen here, so I'm trying to find I got so many windows up in there. Here we go. That's last night.
Oh, so it's good. He's moving around.
Yeah, and he's been moving around pretty good today. The doctor's like, listen, as far as activity, it's all on Mr. Butter's time. But
Right.
obviously, we don't want him jumping around. We're not really doing walks with him, right? We're doing very small walks. The key is keep eating, meds, and water.
There you go. So chilling, no house of pain.
Mm-hmm.
You'd be good in no time.
And that's Bandit. That's his little brother. Even though Bandit's like a monster now. There's that little boy. That's a pretty baby. That's a pretty boy. Yeah. Yeah. So thank you guys for asking. Thank you, Bonzo. Thank you, Cynthia, Sin, Solomon. So yeah, that's our little dude. Our little dude. So thanks for asking. That's the update. Honestly, guys, he's gonna need a lot of really good days together because that type of infection. It's just talking to our other doggy experts are like, that's like 6 weeks. So, but listen,
he'll be back in no time doing Dune posters.
Yeah. Yeah. And then one of my favorite photos of him, I put it up on. Yeah, we're not Mexican. Let me find that. Oh my God, I just love this little stinker. When I made the announcement the other day, just because I was kind of just in a weird. I just normally don't do this, but I put it up on Twitter. It's just like, please, just prayers out. But there's a little Mexican hat on.
You just have to, huh?
Yeah, man. Yeah, we love that guy.
I'm shocked you don't have like a little picture of him with a little Maruchan and hot, it's like hot sauce.
Yeah, well, him and his brother were rescued. We took them in, They were, what do you call it? They were raised in a backyard, like with a lot of other dogs, and they were gonna get rid of all the dogs, and we took them in as fosters, and we got them. Then they've been ours for a few years, and them two couldn't be more different, which is good. You know what I mean? Because Bandit is like like a
rocket,
such a rocket, and Butters is real chill.
He's a calculated gentleman.
Yeah. He uses his cute looks, but his cute looks don't be fooled.
Yeah.
He's actually a gangster.
Yeah. What you looking at, human?
What you looking at? Yeah. So. Well, thank you guys for asking. Let's play the closing credits and get on out of here. It's been a fantastic, absolutely fantastic stream with Elaine. I love talking that stuff. There you go.
That's it.
So yeah, guys. Thank you guys for hanging out. Special Thursday night stream. I'm going to probably check out a movie or two this weekend. More, you just look out for that. And then we're gonna debut the Nina Diaz video in the morning. We're in the video. We play some of her music, so check that out. Cool. What else, Fletcher?
We're also going to be. You got a couple movies to check out, don't you?
Got a lot. I have a lot to check out. Yeah, so it's just, it's a
busy week.
Busy time. I mean, Cabrini, Gami from India. I need to react to The Long Game, a new Mexican American movie with Jay Hernandez and Dennis Quaid. What's up, Retro Girl? Retro Nerd Girl, you got to get on the show. Great show.
Yeah,
I'm so glad I was able to catch it. I think she's not available during the day. That's the thing. So maybe we'll do these evening ones. These even that we can get you. Sorry I missed most of the show. God bless. Can't wait to watch the next one. Orale. What's up, Albert? Orale. Good to have you, man. It's good to have some of these night people here. Because I don't see like Goober. I don't see like Retro Girl, Albert. I don't see them during our day show. I don't.
Yeah. Well, it's usually at night there's a different crowd.
Different crowd. Tim's Talk.
Yeah.
The Ducks in 1977. Thank you for being here. I haven't seen Robert Escobar show. I haven't seen you in forever. Just saying. It's great to have you guys here. And that's just because I know you guys probably have like, real lives and jobs during the day. Yep.
Yeah.
I'm working during the day.
Yeah.
I'm with ya.
Yep.
I'm with ya. All right. Well, you know what? Why don't we talk about doing something, reviewing something together, Retro, and we'll do like an evening live stream.
That'll be fun.
Yeah, she's fantastic. All right, everybody. We did the credits. We'll see you soon.
Have a good one.
That's right. Well said, Darth. Take care, Slantinos.